Hey, how you doing today? I am Tequila Coleman. In today's video, I'm going to answer one of our God ordained future spouses questions she sent in via our godordainedmarriage.com website. If you have a question you would like for me to answer on the channel, head over to godordainedmarriages.com, click on the tab that says contact us, and send me your question today. Now let's jump into her question. Hi, Tequila. Firstly, I want to say thank you for this amazing work you're doing. I have 3 kids cohabiting with a man 9 years now. I have been in contact with this other guy for the 9 years I've been cohabiting. This guy loves me so much, and I can see that. The feeling is mutual. I have tried several times to forget about him, but I can't. We once stopped talking in 2020 for about 9 months, and during that time, I prayed and asked God that if he's not the one for me, he should help me forget about him. But if he's the one, then he should reach out, and he did. I was confused and just thought it was the devil. Deep down in my spirit, I feel like he's the one for me. It's like I know, but when I look at myself, I feel unworthy of his love. This guy has always treated me well. We have known each other since we were kids, even dated in my teens. He never left my side, and I don't understand why. He's not married and no kids. In May, he told me he's relocating to another country. I felt hurt, like I'm losing something so dear to me. So I decided to pray just to hear what God has to say, and God revealed himself to me for the first time. During that time, I had a very vivid dream. We were at my mom's house, and I was outside and overheard my mom and this guy talking. He was telling my mom that he wants to marry me, but I am not taking him serious. He then came to me and assured me that he's relocating so that he could come back and marry me. He then hugged me and felt this peace I can't describe. Then I woke up and I was just crying. Now, I don't know whether the dream is from God or not. Around July, August, I started seeing and hearing his name everywhere. It's like it's being thrown on my face. I don't know what to make of it. This other day, I dreamed about him. We were in the car and I was quiet. He asked, "Why was I so quiet?" Before I could answer, he smiled at me and told me not to explain and that it was okay. The 2 days later, he reached out. That was after 2 months of no contact because I prayed and surrendered this situation to God. I asked God to lead and guide every step. He called again after 3 weeks. We were talking about his move, and I told him how I'm sad because he's leaving. He then told me not to worry and that when he leaves, he's going to invite me on spousal visit and that I shouldn't doubt but trust the process. Now I'm wondering if maybe God has revealed to him that I'm his chosen one because he's just so patient with me, always have been. Here comes the confusion. Guy is a prodigal. He drinks so much. Sometimes he's cold towards me. All this started when I decided to pray about him. On Monday, he was busy bragging to me about how beautiful the woman he was dating is. He even sent me a picture of her that left me heartbroken. So I prayed and asked God why he's putting me through this pain and if all this is even worth it. When I was done praying, I went on YouTube and came across your video where you talked about the stages the chosen ones go through before the God ordained marriage. I believe that wasn't a coincidence. I watched most of your videos and I'm going through some of the things you talked about. I'm also confused as to why God would reveal he's my husband while I'm living with another man. Sometimes I think I'm crazy or making things up in my head. Please help clear the confusion. I can't even talk to anyone about this as I don't want to seem crazy. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you in advance. All right. So thank you for sending in your question. So first thing is first, why would God reveal to you that this particular man is your husband or your spouse while you're living with a man? God speaks, when he speaks, he's usually speaking of what is to come in the future. So even though right now you're living with this man, okay, and God has revealed to you that this particular person is your spouse, now you have decisions to make, right? Do you want the blessings of God? Because if so, then you have to take a look at your current situation and you have to ask yourself, how bad do I want God's blessing? Right? Am I ready to be obedient to the instructions of the Lord? Right? Am I ready to live right for God? Because that's what God is putting out here on the table right before your eyes. So if the answer is yes, then you're going to have to walk yourself out of this current situationship, your living arrangement. You're going to have to walk yourself out of that situation with that particular man, okay? Because God's not going to bless you with a husband while you still got boyfriend in his spot, okay? So you're going to have to make a decision on what, am I going to continue to entertain this and it's not going anywhere because God just told me who my husband is, right? So if I'm done with this, let me just go ahead and be done with it and walk myself out of this relationship and get in alignment with the blessings of God. So I'm going to have to live by myself. I'm going to have to go through a season of learning who my father is, because as I was reading your email, you pray to God, God send you a dream, and then you're like, I don't even know if this was God. Maybe it was the devil, right? There's a lot of confusion going on here. So I need you to get 100% solid concerning God and how he speaks to you. You got to know your father's voice, okay? If God is bringing you into his marriages, he wants you to know him personally, and he wants you to also know his voice when he's speaking to you. Another thing, part of this preparation process for you is you have to overcome these feelings of unworthiness. You said you feel unworthy of your spouse's love. So this is something else that God is highlighting to you. And he wants you to begin to deal with and overcome it, because when we don't feel unworthy of our spouse's love, we sabotage the opportunity. When we don't feel unworthy of the blessing God is trying to give us, we will sabotage it. We will delay it. We will procrastinate on it. So God is highlighting this to you because he wants you to deal with these feelings of unworthiness. He wants you to move into a space of where you know you are worthy. You are worthy of God's best. You are worthy of God's blessing. Okay. So, and I'm outlining this so that you understand, what God is calling for you to do in this season. You got to get in right standing with God. You have to walk yourself out of the wrong relationship in order to get the right relationship that God has waiting for you. Also, God is calling for you to learn his voice, okay? 100%. You got to know your father's voice. He's calling for you to overcome these feelings of unworthiness. Now, you also talked about how after you prayed for your spouse, here comes all of these things manifesting. He's drinking, he's cold towards you. You said he's bragging to you about how beautiful the other woman is he's dating, and he even sent you a picture of her. So let me tell you something. That is a red flag to me, okay? If I'm interested in a man and he is talking to me about a woman he is currently dating and telling me how beautiful she is, and he's sending me pictures, I'm going to take that as a red flag, and I'm going to also assume he's not interested in me. So I'm bringing this to your attention because I don't want you to sit there and continue to entertain this from him. Don't continue to allow him to send you pictures of women he's dating and have an interest in, because now he's pushing you further in the friend zone. Okay, so you don't sit there and just go along with it while it's breaking your heart. No, that is the trick of the enemy. Okay, you stated he's a prodigal. So we already know, I did a whole live on prodigal. Okay. When you have identified that your spouse is a prodigal, it's time for divine separation. It's time to cut off the communication and stop talking to them, because you're interacting with the enemy, and the enemy is after your heart. He's going to do things. He's going to say things to target your heart to break it. Right. So again, during this divine separation and also your preparation season, you are walking yourself out of the wrong relationship and learning how to live by yourself, okay? Because God wants you to move to a level of just being whole and complete and happy within yourself before he, put you in this God ordained marriage, right? So you're walking yourself out of that wrong relationship. You're dealing with these feelings of unworthiness, right? You're also, what was the other thing? I forgot. um, And you're learning about a prodigal, right? What you learning, like what does it mean to be a prodigal and how they show up, the prodigal behavior, characteristics, and traits, right? Also, getting understanding around divine separation, okay? And also just raising your standards. Like I said, don't allow your spouse to just send you pictures of other women and talk to you about them. Just stop him in his tracks. Soon as he started talking, just bring that conversation to an end. He will get the hint, okay? He would get the hint that this is something she's not open to, communicating with me, about. So, just bring it to an end. So it's not that God is putting you through this. Okay. God's not putting you through anything. He revealed to you who your spouse is. He never gave you the green light to go ahead and pursue or contact this man. So God's not putting you through anything. We put ourselves through these things by not understanding a God ordained marriage process, right? We don't understand when God reveals to us this is our spouse, all that was a revealing. He didn't say go ahead and pursue. He didn't say go ahead and date. He didn't say, now go ahead and get married. He just revealed to us this is your spouse. So we got to wait for God to give us the next instruction on how to move forward. Okay. So that is my advice and recommendation. You have some decisions to make, right? You can't be in this one relationship and also wanting God's blessing. It don't work this way. Okay. So God is calling for you to, it's a decision. Do you want the blessings of God? If so, get in alignment with the blessings of God. Okay. So that is it. I am Tequila Coleman. I'll talk to you all real soon. Take care.